Diane in Denmark here, rah, rah, rah. Happy Monday morning. Yeah, know me, I love Monday mornings. I always feel like we get a fresh start. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a great weekend. My son, my dear son, 20 years old, he had friends here at the weekend, so we cleared out and left them to it, and we spent the weekend at our Swedish cabin. You know, we've got a cabin on the very south coast of Sweden, and the neighbour's cat came to join us, and the neighbour's chickens. I'll see if I can put a picture there of the cat, because I know you all love the cat. And what else? We also ate some haggis at the weekend, because it was Burns Night this weekend. Now, if you don't know what Burns Night is, it's a Scottish thing, and you can Google it all about Burns Night. But the funny thing is, when I lived at home in Scotland, we never celebrated Burns Night. It was just nothing that we ever did, you know, intentionally. And my first Burns supper, and my only Burns suppers I've attended, is when I was working in Luxembourg. So for me, it's more of a kind of expat thing. Anyway, we had our haggis. It's all good. So that was our weekend, and just before I get into the bulk of today's video, please, before you watch any of my videos, make sure that you've done your evening routine or your morning routine, depending on when you're watching this. My morning routine is done. I'm dressed to shoes, and I've got a wee bit about that later on the video. I've checked off what I need to get done. My morning routine is done, and I can prove, because the table is already set for dinner. You know, we're at the kitchen table here, you're at the other end. Because part of my morning routine is running the dishwasher, emptying it, and resetting the table for the next meal, instead of, you know, putting the plates away in the drawer and the cutlery and taking, you know, I just set that. So anyway, I'm ready to go this morning. I want to talk to you about two things. Later in this video, I'll show you how I get ready in the morning, because a lot of questions come up about that. But first, I just quickly want to say, I've seen a theme in the questions, in the comments and questions that have been coming in the last couple of weeks. Now, it's the beginning of a new year. I get a lot of new viewers in January. It's, you know, because everybody's looking for solutions to things, easier ways to get their life in order and have more fun. And I made, you know, we're just in this New Year, New You course, and we're getting back into things, and we're going great guns. But people are leaving comments, you know, on the videos that I made, was it 3 years ago now, when I did the 31 baby steps with you. I get questions about dressing your truth. I get questions about the getting things done system. And a lot of the questions, they are asking for permission to do things, and I'll give you some concrete examples. You know, when we made the Flylady control journal, a house management binder, whatever you want to call it, with routines, you know, people will say, oh, do I have to use pen and paper? Can I go, you know, I prefer digital. Yes, you do what suits you. You know, I'm telling you what works for me. But you're the grown-up in this situation. I'm here to be your cheerleader. I can give you helpful tips. I can show you how I use all of these things in my day-to-day life. But you are ultimately the grown-up here. You know, sometimes I might sound like your mum and say, you know, do this. But the decision lies with you. You do whatever works for you. I'm not going to sit here and judge you because you are only using your iPad or some kind of you know, whatever it is. Other questions that come in with the cleaning, you know, you know, you're trying to follow it to the letter of the Flylady missions and do them all. You don't have to do all the things on the list. You do not have to be moving heavy furniture and cleaning behind heavy furniture. If you've got really heavy furniture, leave it where it is. I hardly ever move the furniture, you know, where our bed is upstairs. I clean as much as I can. If I can't get behind it, it doesn't matter. If we're ever going to move the bed or we replace the bed, I will get to the stuff that's behind there. So don't go overboard with these things. just do what you can. And also a thing that comes up, about when should you clean this and when should you clean that. I mentioned it last week. You clean to whatever standard that you want, however often you want. And on the other side of that, you don't need to wait until, we're in zone, like here's case in point, zone 2, the kitchen. We're not in zone 2 this week, or are we? But our ice dispenser thing, that needed sorted out because it was clogging up. And I'm not going to wait until we get into zone 2, the kitchen, to do that. If there's something that comes up and needs cleaned, you go ahead and clean it. You don't need to say, oh, but I have to follow the system. You just do it. And just on a wee side note, if you're cleaning stuff from your fridge and your freezer, make sure not to use hot water on it because it will crack the plastic. So I've got this soaking here, not soaking up here, all the ice is defrosting, and then I'm going to give a wash off and it'll go back in the freezer. So don't worry about, please give yourself permission to just do what works for you. The same, you heard me talking recently about, I have been consistent with daily exercise for about 14-15 months, every single day. You don't need to do the same as me. Maybe you are quite content to be doing your exercise once a week, whatever works for you. And I'm not here for you to be doing exactly the same thing as me. I'm here to show you that just by having some systems in place, it makes life a lot easier, and whatever that is, whether it's, the dressing your truth, dressing according to your energy type, that helps me to have a minimal capsule wardrobe, whether it is the getting things done method, which helps me organize all the thoughts that are going around in my head. I've got a lot going on right now, but I don't need to feel overwhelmed about it because I can just, I've broken it down into stages. For example, I'm going off to the World Championships of Ice Swimming soon. Oh, did I show you my... Here it comes again. This is the trophy from the Danish Ice Swimming Championships. And, there's a lot of planning involved and packing, and we're going as a group. So, I'm just getting that organized in stages. I've got my lists. I'm still running things at home. I've got other stuff going on, and I'm not worried about it because I can feel it, maybe sometimes in the morning when I wake up, there's a lot going on, but I say, no, it's all right. And I just get my thoughts down on paper, what needs to be done when, and it'll all be all right in the end. Anyway, the other part I wanted to say to you today, and I post all the time, as you know, if you're following me on Instagram, and I post, my outfit of the day or, what I'm up to. And I get a lot of questions, especially at the weekend, saying, oh, Diane, do you, do you dress to shoes also at the weekend? Do you put on makeup? And the simple answer to that is yes. I don't feel like I don't feel relaxed unless I've got a wee bit of makeup on. It makes me feel good. And once again, listen here, if you don't want to do that, don't do it. But I know a lot of the questions have come up because you think it takes a lot of time. Now, I've mentioned this before. If you're thinking that, oh, I'm not going to do it because it takes so much time, you know what you're going to do? Hold on, let me grab it. You are going to grab your trusty timer and see actually how long it takes. I've mentioned it before, I did a whole series about using the magic timer of how long does it actually take to unload the dishwasher. And the kids will be like, oh, I don't want to unload it. And we'll say, well, the time that you stand there complaining, the thing could have been unloaded. It takes about 3 minutes. It takes me 3 minutes to unload it. And a lot of you think that it takes a lot of time, to get dressed, for me to do my hair and my makeup. My daily makeup routine takes about 3 minutes, probably a bit less. and 2 minutes for my hair. And how do I know that? Because I've timed it. And just for fun, I'm going to run now. I taped it the other morning, so it's dark, and you know I do things by candlelight. And the idea here is not, you're not watching, what you're about to see is not a makeup tutorial, okay? I'm not a makeup YouTuber. I'm just showing you how easy and fast it is to get my just a basic makeup done. I've got all my things in the drawer ready to go, so it's all organised. And I just go through the things one by one. I've got my makeup lined up in my wee box, you know, foundation first, and then you know, eye stuff, and it's just to show you how fast it can be. And actually it takes me longer because I have to talk to the camera, and my hair, you know, I blow dry it upside down. Anyway, I'll roll the video just for fun, and you can see how fast I can get ready in the morning, or any time of day actually. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! Okay, what do you call it? Concealer and a bit of foundation just to even things out. Tuk, 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 tuk. And I always have the window open in the morning, so it sounds quite blustery today. And that's that done. Bit more even. Next up, get my box of tricks out, and just a wee bit of blush. There they are. Highlighter, and then just a bit of a just basic colour on the eyelids, just to give me a bit of a base. Sometimes I add colour, sometimes I don't bother. And then angled brush on a dark brown eyeshadow just to fill in my brows. That's one. And the other. That'll do. Ooh, I can see. I'm going to tell you what, put a wee bit of colour on today. A wee bit on my eyelids. There we are. And it's much faster when I'm not having to turn around and talk. And most important part, my eyebrow, so what do you call them, eyelash curlers. And a bit of blue mascara to finish off. And everything goes back in my drawer as I use it. Okay, there's one with, one without. And that is basically me done. Right, remember to put everything away. A wee swoosh swoosh of perfume. And it's a Jour d'Hermès. Scoosh scoosh. Voila, and when I get downstairs, I'll just put on a wee bit of powder and a bright lipstick, and that's me done. Anyway, next stage is the hair. Okay, I'm just putting a wee bit of gel, and then I use my hair dryer to blow upside down, and use a brush just to flip up the edges, and that will be me done. So I'll see you on the other side of doing this. It takes about a minute and a half. And sometimes at the end, I'll add a wee bit of paste. First I had on gel, then a wee bit of paste, and just rub that through. Hold on. Got a lift. And the last thing that I do is I put everything away, of course, pull up the bed covers, make the bed, and close the bedroom window. So anyway, I shall see you on the other side. And I thought I'd better give you a final look that I'm actually dressed, got my jewellery on. I'm about to head out the door. I'm just putting up the lights so you can see. One last thing that I forgot to mention is quite often I just add a wee bit of eyeliner, and today, I don't know if you can pick that up, I've got my favourite one on, which is just a navy blue one, and that is me ready to go. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to put these away. And I'll also do a quick scan of my room. Is there anything needs to be folded, put away, and I'll be heading out the door. Okay, well, I hope you had some fun with that. And remember, I'm not telling you that you have to put on makeup or wear whatever it is. You do you, I do me, but that's what works for me. And also with all of these things, and I've just been saying to you, you have the permission to do what you want, do things your way. On the other side of that, if you've been trying to do Flylady or trying to do, you know, getting things done, and it hasn't been working, have you been sabotaging yourself? I've talked about this many times, that you say, oh yeah, I'm going to do Flylady, and then what you do is you go straight into hours and hours of zone cleaning, when you haven't actually done the basic things like, you know, getting dressed first thing in the morning so that you're ready for whatever the day throws at you, and getting your basic routines done. So you may want to think about that. Yes, you have permission to do whatever you want, but don't come here complaining that it's not working when you're not doing the basic things, you know, being consistent with the basics. Because when it comes down to it, when it all boils down to it, it's those small daily routines that really make our lives run smoothly. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to go and get on with my Monday. I hope you have a fantastic day. Dull and grey in Copenhagen, but hey ho, an excuse to have all the candles going. Not that we need an excuse for the candles. And I think that was it. Was there anything I should say? Oh yeah, and listen, please don't comment about the little makeup video. As I said, I am not, and the point was not to show you how to apply makeup. You know, there are plenty tutorials on YouTube, and I'm a member in the Dressing Your Truth lifestyle group, and I really enjoy their makeup tutorials because it's according to your type, so that works for me. But anyway, all I've got left to say is live long and prosper, and may the Danish food be with you, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.